Hey, welcome to the Mix It Up podcast. We're back again. I'm Mike. They're the two Nicks. Guys, we got a guest on this week from the Giants podcast we do, the BBO NYG podcast. John Depot is our special guest this week. John, what is good, man? You ready to mix it up on this crazy podcast we do?
Absolutely, man. So used to talking about the Giants with the Big Blue Offensive podcast with you. I'm excited to do some little more mind expanding conversations. I'm looking forward to it. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, the mind expanding is gonna happen, man. Nick, what do we got, man? What's the topics this week?
More like butthole expanding is what's going to happen this week.
Loose butthole.
What are you
Nice.
looking at,
But we're
butthead?
not allowed to say that anymore because it might be offensive to people, which will bring us to the first topic.
Bro.
Back to the Future Part 3 on TV put a disclaimer, and we'll get to that disclaimer soon,
It's great.
but I'm not going to tell it to you now. Weed. We're going to speak of weed.
Nice.
Um,
Hopefully,
Who doesn't love
Exactly.
the ridiculousness and attention-seeking behavior of Instagram, and I guess all social media.
True.
There's an Instagram video, a nice, beautiful Instagram video that we'll speak of. And signs, are they coincidences or are they more than that?
Whoa. Man, I love it, man. Do you want to go right into that Back to the Future shit?
I'd love to.
Do you want to talk about that? Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Let me. I'll introduce it because I sent it to the two Knicks this weekend. I was watching. First of all, we talked about Back to the Future last week on last week's episode. So if you listen to that week's episode, when Back to the Future comes on the TV, you have to watch it. So I sat down and watched it. I watched all three of them like this past weekend. So all of a sudden, like, I think it was on like Comedy Central or something, right? Like that channel, like so either that or like True TV. So then I see this message pop up before Back to the Future 3. I didn't see it in this message pop up like between 1 and 2, but it says here, this film has outdated attitudes, language, and other cultural depiction, which may cause offense today. Like what happened in Back to the Future in these 80s movies that it would cause people to freak out now? Are they just sending this message because are they worried that people are gonna like attack them for this, like the cancel culture people? Or like what are they thinking, man? Like what do you guys think about that message before you watch a fucking movie you probably watch like
When this
1,000
baby hits
times?
88 miles per hour, you're gonna see
Well,
some
if you want me to
serious shit.
answer, I would say it's a little bit of a letdown because if you read something like that going into a movie, you're probably thinking you're going to come across some funny ass shit. I mean, it's a good movie, but I don't know that it's going to live up to that type of aggressive warning beforehand. But
Right.
we're soft, man.
I
Am I
didn't
coming
even
out?
see any
If I don't
nudity.
come out, if you don't come out as a racist after that, then it's not right. Then the movie ain't working. It's
Like
crazy.
what kind of racist shit? Like he went back to 85. Like I mean, it was a Wild West. People would just shoot each other after they come out of a saloon. So like, where's the fucking harmful content? I don't get it. That's our history.
no,
Like
but
it's our history.
I haven't seen that movie in forever, so I'm one of the people who hasn't watched it 1,000 times. But didn't you say there's something about terrorists in it?
No, that was in like Back to the Future 1.
Oh, which Back to the Future was this?
This is Back to the Future 3. They put this fucking slogan up right before you watch it. So
Alright.
Back to the Future 3, they went back to the Wild West in 1885, and Doc Brown like falls in love with this chick back in 1885. That's like, he's like, fuck it, I'm gonna stay here and see where this shit goes. You know what I mean? He's like, yo, I'm Doc Brown.
Great Scott.
Then all of a sudden he stays there, and then I don't know what is like racist or part of the woke culture that happened in Back to the Future 3. I have no idea what it is.
I never said anything remotely racist.
I'm going to Google it. I'm going to get to the bottom of this because you've
Yeah.
piqued my curiosity.
I have no idea. I haven't seen it in so long that I don't know.
but
But
yeah, it's
I
just
don't even
all he
remember.
does is go back to the Wild West. So like, where's the
I mean,
I don't
there
know.
has to be something either with Native Americans or possibly, I mean, slavery's over at that point, but either that or insensitivity towards Black Americans. It's got to be something. If they went back to the 1800s, there has to be something along those lines.
but shouldn't it be like bad in like Back to the Future 1, or where like he goes back and he's seeing like the black guy that becomes mayor, he's like just sweeping the fucking the candy shop or whatever. Shouldn't that be considered offensive like nowadays? But that's just they're going back to like, all right, this is how it was. But then in Back to the Future later on, in Back to the Future 1, years later, like he's all of a sudden he's the mayor of the town. You know, Goldie is who I'm talking about.
Okay.
So it's like, shouldn't that be more offensive to the whatever happened to, in 1885 and Back to the Future 3? How come they didn't put that message before that? Or maybe I didn't even see the message, but I was watching them. If I would have caught that before Back to the Future 1 or 2, I probably would have texted you guys that message right away.
Well, was Back to the Future 1 on a DVD? Were you just watching it, or was it on TV?
No, it was on Comedy Central. Like I didn't just pop it in. Like I don't
Right.
have Back to the Future on like DVDs to like
Your
hit it,
VHS.
you know what I mean? Like I'm not that huge of a fucking fan,
I
Man,
think
who got onto my VHS and put this disclaimer on here behind my back?
Like you think I'm grabbing out a VCR like in my closet and hooking that shit up to the TV and then putting that shit back in? There's no way that's happening. I just happened to, catch it and I watched all of them, and then I see that disclaimer come on,
Yeah.
and I don't know, it's just fucking weird.
Is that going to be on every movie? Because I'm pretty sure, like the way things are going, everybody could. I could probably sit down and be like, "Oh shit, that's fucking offensive. Oh shit, that's cultural bias or whatever." You could do that on a fucking commercial or every TV show on fucking anything you look at.
The Godfather can be considered culturally sensitive for all Italian Americans.
Fuck you, Nick. Italians, we don't care about Italians, all right? I'm Italian. For all the listeners out there, I'm Italian. All right, I can say it.
I was wondering for a second.
But how many Italian Americans are actually not associated with the mob? Much more than that were.
Oh, yeah, you'd be fucking surprised, buddy.
The point is, most people use that as their basis to describe Italian Americans and Goodfellas and Casino and all of them. And most are not like that.
Yeah, but like you're kind of happy the way that they depict them because people tend you earn some sort of coolness out of that, right? Like 6%. You 6% it up from Goodfellas just alone, and you had nothing to do with it.
But maybe I'm offended. I don't like being portrayed like that.
Yeah, but no one will ever know because you're Italian and nobody gives a shit about it. What Italians think.
That's very true.
Now you're being
speaking of
being very culturally insensitive.
Speaking of, Columbus Day got changed to the Indigenous People Day officially, so we really know that nobody gives a fuck about what Italians think.
Did that really happen?
Yeah, I was just informed.
They basically did it last year, but yeah, now it's become official.
Yeah.
In the DOE school calendar, they changed it last year to Indigenous Peoples Day. I know that.
What does that mean?
Nobody knows.
You're saying Columbus didn't discover America. There's a lot of other humans here first. So instead of putting the person who came over with smallpox and killed a whole bunch of them and discovered the wrong continent because he thought he was in India, they just named it Indigenous Peoples Day and stuff.
There is a party in my pants, and you are the guest of honor.
Yeah.
C'è una festa nei miei pantaloni. E tu sei
Everyone just
l'ospite.
looked at
I
me.
mean, there's nothing really wrong about what these. I get that. There's people there. We came over. We killed like 100 million of them. That's it's fair. Well, I mean, what do they do? Just not go to school? They just have to go to school that day? Is that like the big difference?
No,
'Cause it's not like
it's still off.
oh
They just changed the name to make it more politically correct.
so what did they change it to? I missed that.
Indigenous Peoples Day.
No, it's not.
Mhm.
I hate 2021 and this just fucking day. Indigenous People Day. Okay. That's
Yeah,
cool.
I mean,
How worse, man.
So I looked.
Good, John.
I was gonna say I spent a few minutes Googling why Back to the Future 3 is offensive, and there's not an article on the first like 2 pages of Google that suggests anything besides like them going back to the, like you guys said, to the 1800s. But there was nothing like no deleted scenes, no controversial Reddit or anything like that at all. So I don't know. I wonder if they just do that for all old movies because they're not of this period, so they just put that warning just in case.
It's weird. Like I never thought. Like I can't imagine being like a racist and watching Back to the Future 3 and be like, yeah, fuck yeah, like fucking like rooting and cheering and shit. Like it's just fucking weird, man. There's nothing in that movie that made me want to fucking like cheer or found offensive. It was just a fucking movie. Like I don't know,
Yeah.
fucking
Mike,
straight.
I don't think that disclaimer was specifically made for Mike Trainer. I'm just gonna throw it out there.
What kind of animals is that disclaimer made for? That's the kind of people I want to meet and study because they're fucked up.
Fucking gerbils, bro.
Maybe they're just saying like because time travel might be offensive to people because everybody can't time travel. You know,
Right.
That's a fair angle.
You can't go back in time, but I can.
Right.
You
Not
fucking
fair.
piece of shit.
Oh shit.
Holy shit.
To have a homework assignment, we should all watch this movie for next week
Yeah, definitely.
together. Okay, but carrying on.
Speaking of watching things, I sent you guys an Instagram video today. Did
I see.
anybody watch it other than Mike?
I watched it.
All right. Well, are you John? Do you have access to the Instagram page?
No, I don't have Instagram. I have an Instagram, but I don't even have Instagram on my phone.
Okay.
I don't fuck with it at all.
All right. So
So,
basically,
but I'm looking forward to hearing about this.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
a nice little video.
Watch it.
You gonna watch it, Nick? All
I'm
right.
muting myself so you don't have to.
Gotcha. So I'll just tell you what's going on. It's just a nice little video of like a Spanish lunch lady walking in her school, and the whole school's lined up, and everybody's cheering for her because she just like got her citizenship or something like that, you know. So she was pumped up. She was probably like, "Yeah, I got my citizenship." She's pretty excited, and like, who knew that like her school was there to just support her like crazy, you know? This is a nice
That's
thing.
pretty
Like
cool.
that's the type of stuff that should just be constantly being shown to us instead of people getting fucking shot all day and fucking robbed and stuff.
What do you think this world would look like if Fox and CBS and CNN focus their stories on stuff like that versus everything else that they actually do focus on? What kind of world do you think that we live in? Think of how big of a difference that
Total
could make.
opposite. Total fucking opposite.
That might be one of the big things that's stopping utopia. With the technology, the medicine, everything that we have, that constant assault on people and skewing their worldview because of the 24 hours a day, there's news, they're yelling at you, screaming, arguing, showing you all this like horrific shit, lying about, literally staging things just to scare you, and that's just the whole part of it.
Yeah. The whole world would be like where Mike is right now on that beach right now. We'd all be living on that fucking beach doing the podcast.
Dude, they do that, and they fucking beat people down. They beat us down with all the fucking horrible and bad news. Like, can you imagine if they just focus on good news the whole time and save like a really bad news for like the very end where you're like, oh fuck, that was fucked up. But more, people just expect the bad news. That's how fucking horrible it is. Fucking kind of sad.
It
Okay,
is.
so let me chime in. I just watched a video that was very heartwarming. As Nick said, it is a lady who just passed her citizenship test, and every kid is in the school hallway cheering for her, going USA, as she's like literally crying walking down the hallway.
Yeah.
And it's literally a conglomeration, white, black, Spanish, doesn't matter. Everyone's in there cheering.
Right.
There's one name you can give all those different people. Americans. We did that might solve some problems too.
Right. Yeah. Now I got a question for you, and this is fucked up because it's not supposed to be like this. Like I'm not supposed to have this thought in my head, but when they started cheering USA, 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 I felt like they were doing something wrong. I felt like they were
power of the media.
Yeah. No, but like exactly. Like I felt like, nationalistic pride and shit like that. And it's like look at these little kids. They're just teaching them how to become like nationalistic and have all this pride. And it's like it's all right to love your country and stuff like that, But like the people make it seem like, well, I mean, every war on the planet's pretty much been over fucking the pride of your country and your religion, right? But I don't know. I guess just the fact that like everything that's been going on, hearing USA is supposed to make me feel like I would be a piece of shit for cheering for the USA, You know what I'm saying? Like,
I hear what you're saying.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate that it's come to that because everything's got so muddied. like just because you cheer for the USA doesn't mean you support one cause or another. You support the country.
Mhm.
Somebody became a citizen, they went through the process, and they did something that they probably bettered for themselves and their family. It should be a good, positive thing. But I hear what you're saying, because everybody gets so construed that you cheer for the USA, you automatically are assuming like that you support the assault on the Capitol or something else like that. And where these connections come from are ludicrous, because you can support your country and not support every movement that happens in it. There's 8 billion movements in our country.
Right. Bowel movements, fucking. Yeah, but I mean, it was definitely a good video, and I'm pissed off at myself for even bringing up a shitty topic based upon that fucking video, because it was really good. It was a really nice video.
But I don't think you're alone there.
Yeah, but I shouldn't even focus on it. I should be looking past it. You know what I mean? And like, but it was like a subconscious thing that happened. Like why are these kids chanting USA stop? Because you stop it.
I felt a little
know?
too. It came to mind like, oh, why are you saying that? It feels weird to me. It feels like we're almost like ashamed in a way. It's like strange.
Yeah.
Well, it's that like I said, that's the power of the media. That's every mainstream story getting beaten into your head. You know, whether you watch the news or not, it's just social media, everything else, just conversation you have with people about, you know, the country, this and that, and they've kind of taken that national pride away from you.
Yeah.
You know, if you look at the country as just like a warmonger who's oppressing people, you're not going to root for that. You're not going to cheer that on. But if you could cheer on and look at the USA as that cafeteria, as it's a group of I don't know how many people were there, but let's say a couple hundred people from all different walks of life, different colors, different religions, this and that, all chanting one thing. If you consider that the USA, that's something to cheer for, because that's what the whole point of this is to begin with.
Right. Yeah, definitely. And that's the whole point of our country, right? Like that's the epitome of it all. We took, you know, you could let somebody, a foreigner in, and they go the right route to become a citizen, and you cheer for them. And that's like, that at the end of the day, that's what we were all brought up to think that the United States was, right? Like the almighty savior of people.
What's the epithet on the Statue of Liberty? Give me your poor huddled masses. I forget the whole quote, but it's basically the first thing that immigrants were welcomed back in the day coming off the boats. That like, basically give me everybody that everybody else didn't want, because here you'll make something of yourself.
Right.
America was founded by people who were running from other people.
You know what? At that time, though, we didn't have a lot of people here in America, so we had the room. So like, come on in. But now it's like, we're kind of booked. You know what I mean? You might want to stay there, like be like, hey, when the next reservation opens, you might want to come in and, you know, enjoy all our resources. I mean, that's probably what it's really coming down to if you think about it.
There's a lot of space in this country, buddy.
Yeah, I'm gonna say, bro, drive 2 hours west and you'll find a lot of space with people.
So I'm wrong. I mean, listen, if they want to go live in the fucking woods and shit, you know, we got plenty of fucking land and ocean, you know?
Everything was woods before we made it into a city.
Right.
Hey, listen, the more women that come into this country, the better the odds. That's how I look at it.
Yeah.
That's exactly what we're going for, Mike. We're trying to creep the ratio for just you.
Right, we need the ratio, like, to better, like, the people in, you know, this side of the country. We need the ratio to fucking upgrade.
Do you have a preference on what the ratio is that comes in that suits your needs?
Hot Mexican women.
I think it's a good ratio.
I don't think that's a ratio per se, but that's
the ratio, like, what are people looking for?
Horatio says.
Horatio said.
Well, since we're on the Instagram topic, Nick, I think you brought this up last week, so you want to go for it with the ridiculousness and attention-seeking behavior of people using Instagram and all that social media stuff?
Yeah, I mean, I guess I'll dive into it. I think it started because we were actually talking about something I posted, because John, I don't think you know much about me, but like
You just met me today, so
yeah,
More than you
He knows
think.
everything about you.
like I would say about half of my to 3/4 of my Instagram is literally about like food or like wine posts. And just because like I have a crew of people like that I like to hang out with and try things, and like I put a lot of that stuff up, but like not even so much posts, just stories. And like Nick and Mike were asking me about it, and they're like, "Why do you even do that?" And I was like, "Mer, I don't know."
well, my question was, aren't you supposed to use like the Instagram story to try to like get laid by girls, right? Like, oh, hey, where are you? Hey, where are you with that pizza, right? But Nick's out there with his girlfriend. So my question was like, who were you trying to have sex with?
Well, I was going to go a completely different direction with that. Oh
I
my
can't
God.
answer that question. She'll kill me. No, but I was telling him, John, and maybe as a different voice, it'll be good for you. It's like, I was like, I don't do it for that. Like maybe I did back in the day when I was single and whatnot, but not so much. I like doing it. And then like what I was telling him, I was at a restaurant in New Rochelle the other day, a good fish place from Croatia, and I had like people like start sliding into my DMs, not sexually at all, but like, oh my God, that looks so cool. Where is it? Oh my God, I gotta try it. I'm gonna put it on my list. Blah, blah. And then I do that to other people and friends now, and it's like all of a sudden, like now I have a list of places that other people have gone, that I've gone, and they want to come, and I want to go there, and we just share stories, foods. I just think it's so cool because I like trying new stuff. I don't like going to the same places. So for me, it's like broadening the other foodies and wine enthusiasts out there. But that's me.
I mean, where the other Nick took it, I was like floored. I'm like, wait, is that what that shit's for? I don't use Instagram, but damn, that's pretty cool. Good job, 2021. But when you were talking about it initially, the first thing I thought of was just, human beings by nature like community and shared interests and stuff like that. So that's probably one of the big reasons why you're kind of networking for one of your hobbies.
Where the hell has this guy been? I like this guy.
Oh, thank you.
They would have never said that. They never. Look. Nick's got a little smirk on his face.
Yeah, because my
shared community interest. Use big words.
Because my Instagram stories would be like, hey, you want to try this chicken parm I found? And by the way, you want to fuck? Like, it would be like, it'd be like real quick to the point.
There's a community for that, I'm sure. All right. I mean, it could just be the fucking, the shit I'm talking about. I'm just saying.
Yeah,
I think that's a big part.
I'm literally turning as red as John's wall right now, laughing.
Well, I think me and Mike do that in a sense with the Giants too. Like I just joined because I just wanted to talk about the Giants. Like it's one of my hobbies to, talk about it, being kind of involved with that whole thing. Put posts out there, interact with people, meet people, and stuff like that. And it's just part of just community and, like I said, shared interests. It's fun to talk about stuff that you like. It's no fun to talk about shit you don't like.
Yeah, it's like a group and shit, man. I like the Giants like family. Like I talk to like on social media, man. It's fun. It's great to interact. And people that listen to this podcast, if you never listened to like me and John and with Jules at BBO NYG podcast, that's a plug right there. Okay, we're fucking mixing and matching this Mix It Up podcast and the Giants Big Blue Offensive podcast. So take a listen, man. Even if you don't like football, man, you might hear a quick story about us. So fucking go in there.
Sex dolls, bro.
Yep.
And we don't want to talk about that right now. We'll save that for the big blue football podcast. If you want to hear about
the Yankees won, so that's good.
So speaking of that, trainer, I know you know it, but John, we actually started a Juventus club for the soccer team that me and a bunch of other guys follow. We started like a viewership club here in Westchester. And to get together for like watching games, actually playing soccer games, and just get-togethers because everyone and I have like a giant group chat with like 50 people, because like I used to talk to my same 3 friends about the same nonsense, same opinions, and we disagree. Now you can talk to like 50 different people about all different topics and about the same stuff, but have different views, and it's awesome. So I'm on board with that. See,
that's pretty cool.
That's why we do this stuff.
Was that your plug? too. Now you tell people how to
Yeah.
join. Tell
Yeah.
people to join the Juve club.
Oh, it's
Fucking everything.
JOFC Westchester.
You dropped out. What does it say it again?
JOFC Westchester.
Okay, I'll sign up right now.
Yeah, I've been trying to get you signed up for a year.
Well,
Is
now I'll plug my website, youporn.com. You'll love it.
I'll watch
Free
it every
membership.
night.
Free membership.
Free membership.
Yeah, I want to meet the maniacs that fucking pay for the extra service. Like,
Mike, I
What
was
is
just thinking the same thing.
Dude,
Who
like,
are these mutants, bro?
what kind of maniac that just probably stays at home 24/7, doesn't do shit, but has to pay for this fucking extra membership on like YouPorn? Like, who does that? What is it, like better graphics? Like, I don't understand what the whole fucking situation is.
I'm bored and
People
horny.
fucking
But maybe we are missing out on something that we don't know about.
Yeah.
what could possibly be better than what I'm watching now?
Like, what more could they do? You can literally, if you could think it, they filmed it with like 1,000 different girls from all over the planet. Like, why? What is that extra $6 a month or whatever it fucking costs? What could it possibly do for you?
Is there more holes that I don't know about that I never discovered? Like, I don't understand. Like,
Could this
what
be
other places could I put my dick? Like,
could it be like, remember back in the day, like when you saw like porn stars, they were smoking hot.
yeah,
Now they're not really when you go on like
they're
these
disgusting.
websites.
They're horrible. They're fucking monsters. I don't know how they even. It's this whole YouTube generation where there's anybody can fucking go behind the fucking video, and
Yeah.
all of a sudden you're
Yeah.
fucking porn star. They would never cut it back in the day. You're thinking like the fucking like late '80s, early '90s, they would fucking make it? No, they had to be like looking like Mariah Carey.
Yeah.
Now, like any monster, just get out there, just get butt naked, and people are into it. Like there's people that are into the monsters. It's just fucking, it's disgusting.
I mean, I've searched for the monsters before. I'm not gonna lie.
Search for the monsters. That's
Hairy
great.
monsters.
Some of us weren't born in the 80s in this chat, so I can't really speak to that. So
No,
sorry.
you watch it. I'm sure you fucking discovered a VHS tape from like your brother or some shit. You know,
Well,
you
the porn,
accidentally fucking put it in.
the porn from the 80s has a disclaimer on it now that it could be offensive to people.
Yeah,
Hey,
the
those
pushes are
bushes
too
are out
hairy.
of control.
It's like you need a weed whacker, but you can't say that now.
Oh, speaking of weed.
Nice.
Whoa.
Speaking of weed,
Look at that transition, man. We killed
Wow.
with the transitions.
I applaud you.
is that a sign? Is that? Should we move on to the next topic?
Yeah, we just skip.
That's called a transition.
But I'll tell you what, man, the weed transition just now and the examples of the signs that I want to give you guys later are very fucking simple. They're actually the same fucking thing, but yeah, we'll get back into that. But let's stick to the weed, man. What do you guys want to talk about? That sticky icky shit.
Love it.
Talk
It's
to
a
me,
miracle drug.
baby. It is.
You want to hear a miracle, bro? All right. So one of my good friends, I used to work with her at Verizon back in the day, like 12 years ago. Me, her, a couple other people became like super close friends because we're in the same store all the time. Anyways, she gets married to some dude a little older than I am. He's just turned 49. Had a birthday party last weekend, and back around this past Labor Day, he got diagnosed with stage 4 cancer. He had gallbladder cancer and stage 4, like basically, borderline death sentence. So he went through chemo, all this stuff, and he ended up, he's like 6 foot, 6'1", like, 200, 108, 90 pounds, like that. Like he's a pretty big dude. Ended up getting down to like 145. Like it was bad. It was a bad situation. And I'm not saying that it definitely was this, but the timelines match up. He ended up saying, you know what, I do want to try this medical marijuana thing, just see what it's about. Cause he wasn't really big into weed in his life. He was more of a drinker. He ended up getting his medical marijuana card in Jersey. And just from having it there and just kind of smoking, relying on it, it was easier for him to get through treatments, and it was easier for him to eat. From that point, about, I guess that was like 5 months ago or something like that, they, at this point now, cannot detect a single piece of cancer anywhere in his body.
Wow.
So they're not allowed to say that he's like cured or in remission because it was a stage 4 diagnosis. Apparently, I don't really know anything about this, thank God. But yeah, bro, he's like, bro, I'm telling you, just getting that, having the appetite, being able to eat and keep food down and stuff like that, just having it a big part of my life essentially. He's like, it was a huge help for me to get through this. And like now he's back up to 185, looks great, you know, full health, like, you know, as healthy as you can get a diagnosis. But they said indetectable amounts of cancer in his body.
Did you say medical marijuana or miracle marijuana?
I don't know. I can't tell the difference.
I think you said miracle marijuana. I want to smoke some of that shit. Miracle marijuana could fucking save lives, man. People, they go to this drastic like chemo, and they go down this like horrible route that the doctors tell them to do when there's probably just healthy cures. And like, you know, like marijuana, there's been studies that, you know, marijuana could actually fucking cure your fucking shit or fucking at least alleviate the symptoms, which obviously it does. But man,
that's the big thing.
Dude,
I think that's the big thing. I don't, you know, your appetite, sleep, stuff like that. You know, like Cat Williams says, happy, hungry, sleepy. That's literally what you need when you're going through something traumatic like that. Fucking eat. Right. That way you know, obviously you go to sleep, fucking sleep. You know, that's just huge. I think that's one of the big keys. I wish that they didn't have this other usage for it. Maybe it would have been more used in medicine, and we could be a little bit further along in, you know, its potential, you know, medical uses. You know, if the hemp wasn't part of it, where it could have destroyed, you know, the cotton industry, well, that's why it was squashed back then. You know, who knows? You know, maybe we're a little further along in fucking disease medical treatment because of this fucking plant.
Shit, I didn't know that background about the hemp fucking everything up.
Yeah, that was because even George Washington used to grow hemp. It was like huge. Hemp is the male marijuana plant. So it has a ridiculous amount of uses. Make clothes out of it, fucking houses. You can do whatever you want with hemp.
Wow. And
it's fucking cheap and easy to grow. It grows fast. It's way better than cotton. But back then cotton was huge. And because of the fact that the female flower was hallucinogenic, that's why one of the reasons why it was such a big controversial thing, and them getting squashed out and not being able to be legal anymore.
Wow.
And that's why there's a prohibition on marijuana. And now it's finally being able to be broken out of it.
Yeah. I mean,
and now people definitely becoming more enlightened.
Right.
Funny how that works.
That'll enlighten you. That'll enlighten you. But weed has like anti-inflammatory properties. Like there's the whole list of fucking things like that it helps. Like nature's one thing, pure. You just smoke a little bit of this weed.
And not only that, it's fucking awesome, bro. You're literally just smoking something that nowadays tastes great. And what is it going to do? Make food taste better? Make you laugh a little harder at a fucking stupid show that you're watching? Like, what a fucking terrible thing.
Right.
No, for real. Like, you watch the Eric Andre show, like, it's fucking hysterical when you're fucking stoned out of your mind. It's the funniest shit I've ever watched in my life. And I tell you, man, like, I mean, sure, marijuana helps it or whatever, but like it opens up your fucking mind. It opens up like different like realities, man. You're just like, you know, everything, man. It's a nature's fucking cure, man. That's all it is.
What if you watch the show, like say the Eric Andre show, and I know he's hilarious. The show's fucking great. But what if you were watching it, you only watched it high, and then you were like, let me watch this show not high. And it sucked.
No. It was fantastic. I laughed.
I know it is. I know that. I'm saying like any other show, you know, like
there's certain shows where it's like, oh shit, why would I laugh at that? Yeah. I think it was like This Is Us. When I was really stoned, I was fucking laughing my ass off at This Is Us. But then when I watched it sober, I know. But when I watched it sober, like I was like, shit, man, I'm really upset. This is fucking like.
Isn't that like a really like dramatic show? I've never seen it before, but the only thing I ever heard about it was like some house fire or some shit like that.
Yeah, it's a good show, really good show. It's cool. They jump back in time. They do a lot of Back to the Future fucking stunts in there. Yeah, it's great.
That's the only thing I like about it. Like, but I have never watched it though.
Oh,
but I heard about it. Like people tell me about it, so that's why I know about it. Like going back in time, because I remember seeing like what's that girl that fucking Mandy Moore? I think she's on it.
Yeah.
I know she's like, she goes back, like she's like old and then she's like young and shit, and they go back in time. I'm like, all right, I gotta watch it from like the very beginning. I gotta look for like the DVDs or some shit.
Yeah, it's a really good show.
Mandy Moore was mad underrated back in the day.
Yeah, she was.
I love.
She was low key. She was up there.
She was one of my
She's still
crushes.
hot. She's very pretty still.
Dude,
Like,
what
you
was
wouldn't
her-
even. She's not even. She's young too. She's like 35 or something like that.
I was going to say, yeah,
young.
I don't even think she's in her late 30s yet.
Isn't that crazy? I just said she's young and she's 35.
That is young. What was you guys' crushes like after Jennifer Love Hewitt? I think it was Mandy Moore,
Still is.
and I think it
Still
was Jessica Simpson for me. You can't have the same crush as me.
Jessica Simpson.
Yeah, Jessica Simpson.
Jessica Biel was. I used to love Jessica Biel back in the day too.
But Jennifer Love Hewitt, man, she topped my list on everything.
She's hot.
Really, Jennifer Love Hewitt.
Jennifer
That's-
Love, yeah.
That's not one you usually hear.
Did you just say really?
What,
You
me?
just really to JLH?
Well, not that like she's not attractive enough to win the award. I just mean of all the people back then, she's not somebody that would get brought up that often.
Dude, she was.
You know,
hot.
she's probably like number 7 or number 8 as far as popularity of answer goes. Like if we were playing Family Feud, she probably would be like one of the bottom answers.
You know, Carson Wentz used to. No, not Carson Wentz. Carson Daly used to fucking go out with her, right?
Carson.
Jennifer
Wentz.
Love Hewitt.
Carson Daly immediately now.
Yeah.
Carson Daly and Fred Durst.
I used to hate him, man. I stopped watching. Total Impress Live because he was going out with fucking Jennifer Love Hewitt.
I'm
Bro, you
looking at-
canceled him back then?
I'm looking at a
Like,
picture of them
answer
right
them.
now. I'm looking
Yeah.
at a picture of Carson Daly and Jennifer Love Hewitt on Google.
I hate that.
Does that guy still do shit?
He probably does.
I think didn't he just like do New Year's? Didn't we just drop the
Yeah.
New Year's Eve ball to him?
Yeah, he does every New Year's. That fucking piece of shit.
Really?
Yeah.
What a gig.
Every New Year's
Yeah,
Eve,
yeah.
Jennifer Love Hewitt's like, yeah, I went out with that fucking.
Him and Seacrest. I mean, they got the best gigs ever. Actually, speaking of, I started watching the 911 show, Mike, because of Jennifer Love.
Oh, with
Hewitt.
her. Is
And
that good?
Well, yes, it's a very good show. Made me want to be a firefighter.
I gotta watch that shit. Yeah, I've never watched it.
You think? Can we give it up for Sarah Michelle Gellar?
Yeah,
Dude, she was my
Buffy?
number one for years. When she was on Buffy, she was the most beautiful. But she kind of fell off into when she got older. But she was the hottest thing on the planet to me when fucking Buffy first came out.
She was hot.
I just remember Cruel Intentions. Cruel Intentions was not good.
Now, Nick, you might not remember this, but back in the day, remember when computers first came out and printers happened and then the internet happened and then like you'd print out pictures of girls. Did you guys do that?
I did that.
So it's like you're bored.
Girl, wow. No.
Nick, my room looked like a serial killer. Like when the internet first came out, it looked like a serial killer was hanging out with me. It was just pictures of these fucking gigabytes of fucking random women all over the fucking walls, man.
What are these blocks, Mike? What do you mean? That's Jennifer Love Hewitt. That's Sarah
Right.
Michelle Gellar.
They all look like the same picture.
Yeah. I had so many pictures of Sarah Michelle Gellar printed out, man. Like, they just hid them away. And I would cut them out with scissors.
Even magazines like Teen Pop.
You know what the best part is? On when like the paintbrush app or whatever, the program on your computer, I figured out a way to cut myself into a picture with Buffy and I put it in a fucking frame.
Bold move.
I know you still got that shit somewhere.
No. I might. Maybe it's in my attic. It might be in my attic. That'll be hilarious.
It's fucking something. You should break that out, man. That's fucking great.
That should make
Wow. Sarah Michelle Gellar, like that's fucking
Sarah
great.
I don't think that's her name.
Like, Jennifer Love Hewitt, man. Like, I can't get over it. I can't imagine anybody comparing to her. I just, even fucking Sarah Michelle Gellar.
I mean, what about both of them together? Fuck, holy shit.
Together,
Wait, they were
I couldn't
I
handle
would
that.
explode. I would literally explode.
Say hi to your mom for me.
They were in I Know
Second I
What You
walked
Did
into
last
the
summer.
room.
They were in I Know What You Did last summer.
Right.
Yeah.
And they had the Heartthrobs, Freddie Prince Jr. and that other Heartthrob.
Heartthrob. Is that a
Ryan
word that they
Phillippe.
still use?
Ryan Phillippe.
Movies?
I know you're talking about.
What'd you say, John?
Do they still use that word, heartthrob, in casting teen movies?
I hope so.
That's a great word.
Wait, I gotta say one thing, Mike.
Tell me.
I say Heartbreakers. What do you think?
Jennifer Love Hewitt. with Sigourney Weaver.
Yep, but I'm saying there's 3 outfits. Which one is your favorite?
Every one of them.
All three, one of them.
There's bikini, there's maid, and then there's the pink dress.
I'm gonna look all those up right now.
Man, I mean,
You will not be upset.
no, all of them, but no, back in the day when she was just like on Party of Five, she was so adorable, man. It's like, yo, that's it. That's the girl. Jennifer Love Hewitt, man. Hot.
What color bathing suit is this, Nick? Ooh,
Man, she looked like a whore in that fucking movie.
you can't lose. Type it in
Heartbreaker?
Jennifer Love Hewitt bathing suit. You can't lose. Oof, you can only win.
Yeah, right.
When did Heartbreaker come out? I don't remember that movie.
That was like 99 or 2000. It was right after I Know What You Did Last Summer, I think.
I watch it every year.
I was
There's a
like-
special day
yeah,
at the year
You
that
know,
I
the
just
problem
watched
is
it.
I was like 9. So like that's like the first woman I ever saw it. I was like, ooh, she's pretty.
Oh, I did see this way back in the day. I might have saw it 20 years ago when it first came out, and that was it.
Oh my
And,
god.
You're saying I should watch it again?
And then you
It-
porn
it
came out.
holds
You
up.
don't have to watch it anymore.
The storyline's ridiculous, but yes.
Yeah, I don't think that's why anybody went to see it though.
Yep. 100%.
She was hot when she was younger. Holy shit!
Okay, what's the next transition? Because
She's ridiculous.
we've kind of slipped down. Yep, that's the pink dress.
Wow, she's hot.
Yeah,
Good for her.
I'm just looking at Jennifer Love Hewitt pictures right now, man. Like, I don't
Hey,
care.
Who's the actor that they're trying to con in it? That where she spills the coffee on him as the French maid.
Was he a heartthrob actor? Then if he wasn't, I don't know.
Oh,
Who he
he was supposed to play like a rich, creepy older guy in the movie that her and her mom was trying to con. But she
Um,
put on a French maid outfit and she like spills coffee and she's literally cleaning his lap with like a napkin, like
You know
literally his lap, and it's just
You know that Batman was a heartthrob.
Christian Bale.
Heartthrob. It's fucking hilarious.
all right.
Oh, she's so hot.
We
all
need to segue, Nick. We need to
All right,
segue.
we'll segue off the
the rabbit
heartthrobs.
hole.
You know, you start looking at these pictures online, you don't even realize that you're like on the podcast. You just stand at the pictures.
I know. I forgot where I was in a second.
All right. I think I'm gonna put a picture of Jennifer Love Hewitt as my screensaver. By the way, on my background on my computer right now. But anyway, our last topic: signs. Are they coincidences or are they more than that? So, if you guys would allow me, I'll give you 2 quick little instances. I have so many, but I'm going to give you these 2. So, one of them happened today. One of them happened like 3 days ago. Okay.
Wow, recent.
And I have no idea what these signs mean, but they were just so in my face that I was like, this doesn't even make any sense. Right. So I wrote something down here and I don't even remember what it was, but one of them is this. I play a chess app. Okay. And I'm playing somebody called Nour. Their name is Nour. Okay. And on my Instagram, on my A Guy and a Girl, the band page, I get a fucking request from a guy named Nour. Nour. Never even heard of this name before in my life. I know a person named Nour, but I got a fucking screenshot of it here. I was like, what the fuck? So I screenshotted it and I was like, how is this possible? A name I've never seen before. And then it happens right there on the same screen. How's that fucking possible?
So I have a question.
Yeah.
You saw his name as Noor. What did he see your name as?
B Diddy 9297.
Okay, so definitely not your full name. So there would be no way for him to just have found you.
No, but it wasn't even my name that he found me on Instagram. It's me and my girlfriend's band page. It's a guy and a girl, so it's not related at all. My name's not even on that.
Right. So you either have the biggest creeper ever,
Right.
straight hacked right now,
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
or this could be a case of the law of attraction.
Right. But I don't understand that. Like, I can't put it together on that, you know?
Were you thinking about that name for like hardcore?
No.
You
Then
put
you
attention
put it out
towards it
there?
the first time, you noticed it, and that's what law of attraction does, just in a very minor way. It's kind of a similar way of saying, okay, I gotta get a new car. I want to get a fucking red Wrangler, and then all of a sudden the next month you see like 6 of them driving.
Right.
You know, not they were always there. They just kind of like went into the background, never played. But then you put attention towards it, and then now you saw it. So it could be one of those types of situations. But
Now,
that is a very, very fucking random name. It's probably 1 in 100,000 chance it would happen like that.
Yeah. And here's the other one. So this morning I was working, and somebody on Instagram put up a video. She's like a yoga girl, and she's like talking about peacocks. She's like, a peacock has to fly, right? Then at my job, the person who I have to call, they just gave this person to me. Their last name was fucking Peacock. I have it right in front of my face. Literally a minute later, 2 peacocks.
So I have like a very unique kind of like perspective on life and like your connection to like the universe and stuff. And stuff like that. That you guys ever talk about like synchronicities and stuff like that?
Yeah, we talked about it one time. Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty much what you're talking about. And for how I kind of see the world, when you start to see stuff like that happen, like frequently, like kind of almost put the intention out. I've been like a big fan of law of attraction for like 10 years. And honestly, I think I would, if it didn't sound ridiculous, I would say that was my religion. Like that's how much I believe in that shit.
It doesn't sound ridiculous, John. It doesn't sound ridiculous at all, by the way.
Yeah, it's formed and shaped my life, and like, you know, things have gone well since that happened. That's all. That's, you know,
good.
So I think synchronicities are almost a way of the universe like communicating with you, saying that you're kind of on the right track. Like you're in the river. Like there's going to be a rock thrown in the river, and you're going to get ripple effects, and there's going to be, you know, some distress for every once in a while. It's going to happen. But once you start to see things kind of like start lining up like that, just random occurrences like that, I think that's when, you know, that means that you're right where you're kind of supposed to be.
But does this mean that I'm supposed to like go fucking find a peacock and ride it with Noah? Noah?
Or you get a peacock, name it Noor, and then see where your life goes from there.
Right.
Or shows up at your house and ties you up.
Right. I want to tell you a crazy synchronicity story. You'll love this one, John. So me and my girlfriend, like I was saying, we're an acoustic band together. And like for a long time, I had this song that I wanted to get professionally recorded. So I finally pulled the fucking trigger on it. And it was up in Wappingers Falls. I had to go record it at this kid, Randy Pasquarella's studio. Randy, what's up, man? If you ever hear this. So I'm very big into the mileage on my car. Okay. And like I see like 77,777, you know, I got snapped like pictures of it. I'm driving in my car and I'm like this, 88,888 is going to hit today. It's going to hit at somewhere along the lines, right? Because I was around that fucking way. I'm looking at my Waze and I'm like, all right, 6 miles left. And I'm like, all right, hold on a second. I'm like, how many miles? It's like 6.2 miles left. And I'm like, this is going to happen. I pulled into the fucking parking lot at 88,888 fucking miles.
Right on the
dude. I'm telling you, man, that's like lower track. I'm in sales. I mean, something similar to that. I'm in sales, and every month I have like a quota I have to hit, and I'll make like a random number. I don't like to do just like 200,000 and make that the number. I like 197, 191, and in 7 years with this company, the amount of times that it's happened is kind of borderline eerie. How things have kind of like unfurled itself. So yeah, law of attraction, man. That's the intention. Intention is a huge aspect of everything in life.
Mm-hmm.
You know, whether it's, you know, getting better, losing weight, trying to, you know, be successful and stuff like that. And I think it's way more deep than just like the conversation. I think that it's actually a tool that you can use to actually like manifest things in your life that you want.
Yeah.
Again,
Like
I've been smoking a lot of weed tonight, but things have worked out for me. So I'm telling you.
Dude, like positive thinking. If you look up like Google, like manifesting your destiny, there's like articles like written that's like guaranteed, almost like you could make whatever you want out of anything you want to happen in life, and it'll happen.
Right.
If you just believe it, you just like manifest it. Like there's like a power in that.
Yeah.
So it's like I don't understand why like everybody don't just try to like do that every day. Like try to manifest your destiny, you know?
because
Yeah.
the problem is
People don't know, and it sounds fucking hokey. Like people are gonna listen to this and be like, "This fucking guy, you this random dude John on your podcast talking about law of attraction and intention and shit." But when you actually like devote attention to it for real, like actually learn about it, there's something there. When you listen to like celebrities and you listen to like people who have been very successful in life, this is the things that they talk about. This is what they attribute their success to is knowing this kind of stuff, like really being connected and understanding that, you know, your intention has an incredible impact on what actually happens in life.
Yeah, 100%. And like you're saying, though, a lot of people will think it's like bullshit. They think it's bullshit. It's not something that they've been taught all their lives, and it's not that easy either. Like it's kind of difficult to sit down. Like today, I you know the book Think and Grow Rich.
Yeah,
you got it right there, don't you?
No way.
Nice. So I read it. Phenomenal fucking book. Definitely changed my life. But I felt like I had to like read it again, so I started listening to it online. Go for it. What do you?
I'm sorry. I'm just kind of blown away right now. All right. So I got that book from my manager. His name was Adley. He was my sales manager. I got hired, and within 2 months, the manager that hired me left, and this guy took over for him. Mm-hmm. He was my manager for like 5 years, and he ended up giving me that book like close to when he was leaving, when he knew he was kind of out the door, just like, hey, John, like just want to give you know, whatever. This morning, he left my company like 2 years ago, and he went to a couple other companies, whatever. Just randomly this morning, my buddy texted me telling me there's a rumor about him coming back to my company.
Oh, shit.
This morning,
That's crazy.
You can't see the phone when I do it. I hand to God. This morning he came up randomly. I haven't heard his name in like 6 months.
Yo, why? Yo, that freaks me out, man. Why are all these energies connected, man? Like
Science,
it's just all connected, dude. It's fucking crazy, man.
Yeah. That's the thing, man. People like to look at it as coincidences, but they're fucking not.
Dude, after a while, how could it be coincidences? Right. After a while, after you start seeing it, once in a blue moon is one thing, but when you put attention to it and you see coincidence after coincidence after coincidence, that kind of rules out the whole theory of a coincidence.
Yeah.
Yes. Right, what I think the problem is what people struggle with is that people don't want to put in the work to see how much it takes it to come to fruition. 2, people often think that like it's some pre-designed plan, like how religion tells us. Mm-hmm. There's a preconceived notion, and there's somebody pulling the strings, whether it's a deity, God, or somebody else doing it. It's not like you said. I like the idea of synchronicities. I never thought about it like that. More than like it's some like the universe is doing it and it's pre-planned for you. It's not predisposition. You kind of work it into existence, but it is all an entanglement. I do like that notion. But hold on.
I actually like the lazy way of like be like, I just want to believe in the universe is going to make it happen. I don't want to have to work it. You know what I mean? I'd rather take the lazy way out.
Once you understand, you don't have to when you're in sync with it, you don't have to like sit there and like, oh, I gotta get it going. You just throw it out there. You're like, we got this, baby. You sit it there, you let it happen on its own time, and it takes care of itself.
Right.
Bro, it's scary. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
It's once you kind of like understand it, it happens too often for you not to like really understand that it's like a tool for life. Like you can almost borderline become a wizard with it. That's how ridiculous it is. I'm not even kidding. Like there's I work a commission only job, so like there's weeks where I'll go like, you know, a week or two with like literally working 6 days a week and I have a $0 paycheck. And then, you know, once I like, oh, what the fuck's going on here? You know, I'll put a number out there or something like that, like I said before. And then all of a sudden, like all the fucking bad appointments I'm getting just go away. And then it goes right to that. And, you know, without the knowledge that that's even a possibility, you know, walls close in quick when you don't fucking earn a living when you're working 6 days a week. You know what I mean? You go crazy. Like that's been one of like my crutches, like through all my whole last 10 fucking years of my life. It's just like understanding like there's something you can rely on here. And for anybody fucking listening to this, like honestly, just kind of like Google it, just let it fucking marinate on your brain a little bit. Like you could just make things a little bit better in life just by understanding how like the universe can, you know, be wielded almost in a sense.
Yeah.
We should all be Buddhists, man. We should all get robes and just fucking get that book. What's the name of that book?
Is that what Buddhists believe in?
I think so. If I was a Buddhist, I believe in that.
I mean, they definitely believe in different things. Yeah, spiritual stuff, and all the energy. I'm pretty sure that's what they believe in. That's
Like
probably
feng shui and all that stuff.
Yeah.
They meditate, and whatever pops in their head when they meditate, because they meditate for like 8 hours a day or some shit. I heard.
Yeah,
That's a lot.
Great. Yeah, that's a
Actually,
long time.
you're confusing that with sleeping.
Right. I mean, that's like I would do that. I'd be like, I'd rather sleep than like fucking meditate for fucking 8 hours. Like,
I think they
fucking
do
chilling there.
occasionally, not every day.
No, if you meditate for like 15 minutes a day, just like take a time out.
Yeah.
15 minutes, you just fucking think, crazy shit pops in your head, man. I mean, for me, it's mostly Jennifer Love Hewitt, but I'm sure for you guys, you get like inspiration and shit. You know what I mean? But like, yeah, dude, that's a good practice to do. Is just fucking, take time out to meditate, man.
Yeah.
It's healthy.
Wait, you want to talk about some sort of kind of entanglement? I was watching this movie yesterday, and I had no idea this was going to actually come up in the podcast today, but this is one of the main songs they sing, and it has to do with this topic.
Let's say some bass.
Who let the dogs out? Who let those dogs out?
So I was happy to be watching Pitch Perfect with my girlfriend yesterday, and that's the song they sing, and then they like revamp, and all of a sudden we're talking about signs today. So just throwing it out there, little breadcrumbs.
I think that's a sign. Like the four of us have to go to an Ace and Bass concert.
100%.
Are they still like a thing?
I have no idea. They're probably all dead for as far as I know, John.
They just sat there and stared at the sign for too long. They never ate.
Next week, our guest is Ace of Base. Get back.
Think and Grow Rich, Mike. That's what it was. You asked what it was, right?
Think
and Grow Rich.
Think and Grow Rich. Okay. Yeah. Dude, are you done with that book? Let me borrow it. So I'm gonna fucking buy it.
Go online and just go on YouTube, and there's a fucking. I don't have the book. My friend at my old job let me read it when I needed it the most in my life, and it probably fucking saved my life. But yeah. So Mike, this guy Napoleon Hill, who was it? Carnegie came to him, John, or somebody. I can't hear you. Can you hear him?
No, I think.
Sorry, I muted the mic. My bad. I said I actually never read it. I only read like the first few pages and never picked it back up. Yeah, that's my bad.
That's all good. It worked for you though. So
this is all like law of attraction, secret, and like kind of spiritual stuff that kind of like got me. Why is that what's in that book?
Yeah. So that book, somebody sat down with Napoleon Hill, the writer, and said, "Are you willing to dedicate the rest of your life or 25 years of your life to finding the secret of why rich people are rich, why successful people are successful?" He's like, yeah, I think it was Andrew Carnegie sat him down or something like that. So he was a journalist. He sat down with like fucking 400 of the richest, most successful people on the fucking planet, right? And they all could come back to like these 13 principles of why they're fucking successful. Right. And it's the law of attraction. You fucking set the intention. You fucking have faith in it. You let it fucking be. You don't try to rush it. And all these different principles form, like, it's not even a joke. Like, all these people shared the same fucking thing, man. This guy talked to Thomas Edison. He talked to this guy, this, that, and the other, all the fucking Rockefellers. And they're all like, yeah, this is pretty much how it was done. You know?
Really?
Yeah. It's phenomenal.
I can't believe that. That's what's in that book.
Yeah.
I should have actually, you know what? I think I'm gonna read it now. I'm gonna throw that in the fucking bathroom, and in the next couple of weeks, I'll have that thing finished.
All right, listen. This is our project. We all have to get that book. We all have to read it. All right. So on the next podcast we do together, which by the time we all finish reading this book, it'll probably be like in a year from now. So in a year from now, we're gonna have an episode. We're gonna review this book.
That's pretty sick.
Project. That's what we got to do, man. And then we'll talk.
Cinco de Mayo, 2022.
Seriously though, let's try to read the book in a decent amount of time, and then we'll talk about it on a podcast together. I think
it sounds like you're just trying It sounds like you're trying to convince yourself, Mike, to read the book. Come on, guys. Seriously, let's just read the book. Come on.
I know. I want to.
He needs a second reason to do it. A little extra motivation.
For real, because I know if we have a deadline and if I have to read the book, then I'm gonna read the book. If
What
there's
if we
no
do
deadline,
this?
then I'm gonna be like, it'll just fucking collect dust for a little while. But then if
What
I'm
if-
forced to read it, I know I'll read it.
What if we do this, Mike? Every week we have to read a chapter. Every week. That's one of our topics.
Oh, that's a great idea. Dude, that's a great idea. All right. For the next few episodes, we're going to fucking talk about this. Yo, so we'll have John on because John's going to read it too. We'll have him on every week to just talk about that topic, and then we'll get rid of John. And then we'll all fucking talk. So
16
I
chapters.
kind of like having John on. I like having John on.
I know. John is good. Like, John's good. But it'd be funny if we did like a little skit and like, all right, see you later. And then we'll go back.
we let him like mid-sentence, we just kick him out.
Dude, that'd be fucking hilarious.
I'm really blown away. I can't believe that's what's in this book. It's like a revelation to me right now.
Dude,
like I knew basically it's just thinking grow rich, like understand the context of like what it means. But fuck.
I know. Now I want to read it, man. I wish I had that book on me tonight. I'd probably stay up fucking reading that shit.
Mike, go on YouTube and listen to the fucking audio version. How many fucking times do I need to say it?
I know. Yo, send me the link.
Okay, go to youtube.com and type in fucking Think and Grow Rich. There's your link.
Because you said the name of the book like about 10 times, guys, and I still can't remember it. Fuck it. I want that to be the title of the show. So send me that as the title of the show, because then I'll definitely like look for it tomorrow and I'll fucking read it, man. I definitely want to read it. You guys,
your audio broke up a little bit at the end. Every time you went, that's the name of the show. That's the name of the show.
Oh, really?
So just wait till you hear it. You're gonna listen to it.
No shit.
Now, Nick, I know you've been burning to say something, so you keep shaking your head when we're gonna say we're gonna read this book. I want to know what's going on.
All right, Mike, I sent you the link to the whatchamacallit, the YouTube.
Okay.
Full audio book. There you go.
Hard doing it in June because I have 2 finals and 4 papers and about 8,000 chapters to read in the month of May.
So maybe we'll read and fill you in. We'll just fill you in.
Okay, that's fine. I'm just saying, don't expect me to read anything before June. I'm in crazy season of grad school.
All right. We'll fill you in. Wouldn't be the first time I filled you in.
Aggressive. Love it.
You could just listen to it on YouTube.
Yeah, I mean, you don't have fucking when you're playing Call of Duty or fucking wanking one out. You can't listen to a little bit of fucking Think and Grow Rich.
But if I ever when I do get time to play Call of Duty, I have my headset on, so you can't listen to it.
Oh, all right. What about wanking off? You can't listen to it while you're wanking?
No, that is not what I want to listen to.
What
while
do
you're
you want to listen to?
What I'd rather read, because I can read whatever people say in like a third of the time. I hate listening to things.
But what do you want to listen to?
I don't think it's
me. It's Jennifer Love Hewitt sound bites. That's all it is.
I mean, I watched 3 episodes of Ghost Whisperer, and that was the worst show I've ever seen.
I can't watch
Just because it's 3 episodes.
She's usually good in everything, but that sucks.
Yeah.
John, how many pages is that book you got there?
It's thick.
That's what she said.
I mean, relative to.
That'd be 350. 350 easy.
No, it's not. To the end, we are about 300.
Oh,
right. How long you think you could read that? How long you guys think you could read that book if you sat down and just like you're not going to sit there and read it one day, but like theoretically,
a week.
How many hours in one day if you were to sit down and be capable of reading for like straight through? How many hours do you think it would take?
So I have a question. Audiobooks, is it literally reading the transcript like word for word? I could probably get it done in a week because I can listen. I'm in the truck a lot. I can listen to it and then pick it up reading it when I'm not.
But I want to know how long you think it would take you to read 300 pages, like straight.
Like actual reading?
Like hour-wise.
In one day or something?
Yeah, one day. Like, you know, how long you think it would take you in hours?
Wow, so many in hours.
165 probably.
Nick, how many do you think it would take? Because you read a lot.
It depends how much you like it. Like
Probably like 10.
I read the 800-page history of the Targaryen reign for Game of Thrones in like under 2 weeks.
Did you say 800 pages?
Yeah.
There's 800 pages on a Targaryen shit for Game of Thrones?
Yeah, it's the prequel that's coming out from when Aegon the Conqueror takes over and makes the Iron Throne to the Mad King. Where is it? I have it.
It's 800 pages?
Pretty sure.
Oh wait, this is the wrong one, but I got this bad boy. But this is the history of Westeros and how it was made. Where is that book? Hold on. I'll find
That's incredible that there's that much fucking shit on that on Game of Thrones. 800 pages on one family, bro. That's pretty fucking bananas. I don't think you can write 800 pages on my family and we're real.
I wouldn't even waste my time.
Mike, did you say 10 hours because you looked at the audiobook on YouTube and you saw that it's 10 hours long? Fucking piece of shit.
Here's how quick it's up.
Is it really?
Fire and Blood.
Shit, it is 10 hours. Yo, that was just, no, honestly, that was just a lucky guess, man.
Yeah, my
I
ass.
swear. You're not going to be listening to this for like 10 hours straight.
I overestimated a little bit. It is only 710. Sorry.
Longest book I ever heard of in my life.
That is aggressive. 2 weeks. So, I mean, 2 weeks is relative, though. Like, how many hours actually is that? Like, are you reading like 4 hours a day for 14 days straight type of deal?
Yeah, I like that. What happens is like a lot of my reading nowadays, because I work during the day, is I read at night. So the problem is I'll start reading at like, I don't know, say 10 o'clock, depending how much I'm into it. And then the problem is I should only read for like an hour or two, but I keep catching myself at 2:30 still reading like an idiot because I can't stop myself. But yeah,
Wow.
I would say about 4 hours a day if I'm really interested. Now, if that book bores me and I don't like it, I'll read a half hour max and I'll pass out. But it all
4
depends.
hours in a book. That's pretty fucking damn.
You got to figure like,
Got to give you credit for that. That's
Yeah, I'm a
pretty good
big
attention.
nerd. I'm a big nerd. As much as I love my sports, I'm a big nerd.
you got to figure like a page in order to read a page is like a minute. So a minute a page, right?
If you're
Does that make
lucky.
sense?
No, it may be in like a fucking flip book. Sometimes pages take like fucking 5 minutes to read.
Really? One page?
It depends on the content and how like
But it also,
invested you are in what you're reading.
Yeah.
I find myself like reading and then like going a couple sentences, like drifting off, and I have to like read again, like a fucking
That
ADD.
sucks. Even when you're
Fucking
like, even when
Right,
you're
right.
interested, sometimes that happens. You're like, why can't I think
Yeah.
and pay attention?
You can't focus.
Yeah, bro, exactly. I'm like, I gotta put this bowl down really quick. I gotta get through this article. I gotta try to read this.
so like, it all depends. Like what John was saying about like the content. Like you read this book isn't big, but the words are small as shit.
Yeah.
So that's going to take you probably 2 minutes a page. But then that other book I held up, the history one, the words are like this big, but the book is this big.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Those
that
only
shit is basically the Ten Commandments. That thing you held up. It's a fucking tablet.
it goes from how the wall was created, how Westeros and Essos split, like
That's cool.
Pangea. Yeah, it's wild. We can get in game. I could explain way too much about Game of Thrones.
So is that like a part of like the novels themselves, or is it like something secondary that's more like an encyclopedia type of a deal?
So the history book is literally a history book. It's literally a history from the dawn of recorded time in Westeros and Essos all the way through and about how like everything was formed to like the children of the forest come and the Fist of First Men and then the Andals came over. Like recorded history, not like families and whatnot. The other one, Fire and Blood, is literally just from when Aegon leaves after the Doom of Valeria, settles on Dragonstone, takes over, and then all the ruling kings afterwards, up until the Mad King.
Shut up.
Mike's face right now.
I'm just picturing what edits Mike's gonna be putting yawns in the back. Oh.
I think I'd
But
rather
Mike, do you
listen,
not like Game of Thrones?
I mean, I think I'd rather listen to like I read books or on like Curb Your Enthusiasm than like Game of Thrones. Like I don't know, it just like I love Game of Thrones. I love watching it, but I ain't sitting there reading the books. I tell you that. There's no
I mean, it's
nudity in
super
that.
interesting though. I will say that just the lore that they've created, like that level of content and detail, it is pretty. Just
I mean, granted, I have never like actually
Oh.
attempted to read a book. But that could be a problem. Maybe if I actually decided to like open it up and decide to read it, maybe I like it. But I just know, like in my heart, like I know I'm not gonna like it.
The fifth Game of
I'm not
Thrones
gonna pick it up.
was 1,100 pages, and he still hasn't finished 6 or 7.
Oh well, he could. I could tell him how to finish it. He could totally ruin it. He could
No,
totally ruin it like HBO did.
Remember, he's HBO. He gave them a general idea. He's gonna do it. He's gonna finish it out the way he wants it. He still hasn't
Good.
finished.
Maybe they'll make a movie based upon how he finishes the fucking book, and we could be like, thank you.
They're gonna make so many spin-offs. It's gonna be ridiculous.
But guess what? I'm not watching any of them because they let me down once. You can't let me down again. I won't let you.
really.
I fucking hated the end, man. It would have went down to the best show ever. I probably would have just moved to the woods and just died in the woods and be have been happy with life. If they ended the show correctly, I would have just become a forager. I would have ate berries, and then the bear would have mauled me to death. It would have been the end of my life. I would have been all right with it. But now I have to keep on living because of the way they fucked this show up.
I actually am not on that side. I actually don't mind the way they ended the show.
Well, you can't come back on the show ever. You're not allowed back on your show.
I'm the same way, John. Me and my best friend argue like cats and dogs about it.
Yeah.
The only thing was how the Night King died. Everything else, I was completely on board. The whole point of why I love Game of Thrones is that there is no happy endings. The way it would really happen and how people died and who would become king was it.
Yeah,
no one wanted Bran to be king, and Bran didn't want to be king. This is why he had to become king.
Spoiler alert for the people that never seen this: the Night King died.
But if you don't know that the Night King's going to die in Game of Thrones, then you either don't know who the Night King is, or you're pretty silly.
But I would have rather the Night King killed everybody and taken over the world.
That would have been dope.
So what don't you like about it, though? Specifically?
I'll give you tons of specifics. Ready? Every main character ever that I wanted to die died in that episode in the worst fucking possible way that anybody could have ever come up with. Like Cersei dying with rubble falling on her with Jaime. Come on, man. She should have been tortured and fucking dragged up and down the fucking street.
Yeah, but it was poetic in a sense, though. She came into the world the same way she went. She came out of the world left the world the same way she came into the world. Her and her brother in their arms. They spent their whole lives, maybe a little too much, together, and they went out together. So it's supposed to be poetic in a sense that they got crumbled under what they were trying to build together and went out together.
I see that. Now, what about the Mountain and the Hounds, fighting on the stairs? Okay, go on.
It goes one step further. What was Cersei's biggest fear? Being unknown and being nobody. She died with nobody knowing, no show, no pomp, no circumstance, underground like a little baby back biatch that she was.
There you go.
All right.
What about the encyclopedia has spoken, and it sounds spot on. I'm glad that you took the baton a little further than I brought. That was pretty good.
Tell me.
So what's next? Let's make you love this ending.
Well, I understand the poetry. That's like the fucking end of The Sopranos. Oh yeah, that was poetic. Yeah, it was so poetic. The end of Sopranos. Fuck the end of Sopranos. But the Mountain and the Hound.
What didn't you like about them killing each other?
Forget about it. Listen, if these circumstances all happened different times, if the Mountain and the Hound fought each other and they fucking fell through a wall and died, that would have been fine. But it was one after another. All the people that the whole season was just a build up to everybody dying in the last episode. And it was why couldn't you kill somebody? You should have been left oh, the Hound's dead. I liked him, but I hated him. And then it was just a fucking melee of shit. But go and talk about that. And then I'm going to talk about something real fucked up.
So I can't argue against what you just said there, because they definitely should have fleshed it out a little more. I don't know what they were trying to do. Six episodes and 2 of them being a half hour longer. They definitely should have done at least a full 10 episodes to really give it some life. stuff like that. They could have definitely pull at your emotion a little bit more. You're absolutely right about that. So we're 1-1 right now. So let's see what number 2 and 3 is.
All right. Now I already know what Nick's answer is this, but this is the most bullshit of all fucking time. Okay.
Oh boy.
In the I don't know, seasons before, where Jon Snow, well, I think where they go try to find the dragon glass, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he kills a fucking White Walker or a white, whatever the fuck they are, and then they're going out, and all of them are dead, and the fucking Night King just raises everybody up, right?
Yeah.
That was sick. Number one, that was the sickest fucking battle scene of all time. Now, those White Walkers were running at an unstoppable pace. You couldn't fight those things off. You couldn't be surrounded by one person. Brienne of Tarth couldn't be surrounded by fucking 50 of them and then coming out alive. And everybody in that show had 970,000 White Walkers around them, and they all fucking survived.
Whites, not White Walkers.
Hey, let's not bring color into this. Let's not bring color into this, right?
No, WIGT.
White. I thought the whites were the main guys. Like the Night King was a white.
Those are White Walkers. They're called whites. Is the reanimated corpses.
Okay, so the whites, whatever.
So they're zombies. Whites are zombies essentially.
Yeah,
so the zombies. How did they get out of that?
I don't know, but that's the history of American cinema, though.
Yeah, but why not? Like they could have done something better. It was rushed. It was fucking rushed. Like that battle scene on that island wherever they were getting the dragon glass was fucking insane.
Yeah. I will not agree. I will not disagree with you. I think it was rushed. All I'm saying is I like the way it ended. The whole way of getting there, I think they rushed it and they screwed up. But that fight scene at Winterfell with the darkness and everyone was like, you couldn't see anything. You're not supposed to. You're fighting an army of the living dead that can control the fucking temperature and air. It was chaos. You didn't know who was next to you. You didn't know if they were alive. You didn't know if they were dead. I remember sitting there and like literally gripped, like, holy shit, this is insane.
That's the whole point. It's supposed to be like immersive. It's supposed to like pull you really in. It's almost the same thing as the Uncut Gems with Adam Sandler.
That movie
where they give you
sick.
that like, yeah, but it gives you like that almost that like secondary feeling of anxiety, the pace of the movie, like it pulls you in. That's supposed to be the same way, where you're not so much seeing it, but your other senses, your the way you're hearing it. I mean, you can't smell it and fucking taste it or whatever, but your other senses, you're really like feeling. It's supposed to give you that like panic-stricken feel. That's the whole point of the art of it, is to kind of like pull you into it. Like, I don't see any problem with that whatsoever.
Do you remember Battle of the Bastards?
Yeah.
Great. It was great.
That was great. But that wasn't a good fight scene compared to all cinematography before. But that felt like you were in a real battle. It wasn't clear cut. There wasn't two clear things. You didn't know who was coming. You were fucking confused.
That was a great fight scene. That was a great.
It made you feel like you were actually in the battle.
But that's one of the first shows to ever do that. The battle for Winterfell was the same idea. You're not fighting an army of other humans in the middle of a sunny parade ground with like shields and banners. You're fighting an army of the dead come to wipe out humanity. It's not supposed to be on whatever. I was scared when Arya was in the bottom and she was ducking from the whites, going like back and forth. I felt like I was in a Resident Evil movie. Like, don't make a sound. They're gonna hear you. Don't do this. They're gonna know. Whatever.
Bro, I want to watch this shit right now. Right?
I want to hit my 10 and fucking watch it.
Mike, how do you feel about that show?
Jon Snow.
Mike, have you seen it all the way through?
Yeah, I watched all of the episodes. I
So-
love fucking Game of Thrones, but like I'm just not into like reading the books. I can't do it, man.
Yeah, I never read any of the books either. I've read a lot on it, but I've actually not like picked up the book and sat down and read it. Which it sounds like there's a.
I got 10 of them.
Do you?
I have all 5 originals. I have the Duncan Egg 2 prequel books. I have a history of Westeros, and I have Fire and Blood, and I think I have one other. So, if you guys want to rent them, or not rent them, borrow them.
What was that face, Mike?
My God, that's a lot. That is just like, man, I can see like maybe having like one book on Game of Thrones. I'm like, all right, maybe I'll read this. Not
But that's part of the
13,
appeal of the show is just the
the
intense,
collection.
like, yeah, well, just the amount of effort that went into like building all that, the insane amount of data, like it's crazy.
I know that's the thing. Like I don't like I love like the above the water data. You know what I mean? But if I gotta go
Surface level.
below the water and learn all about the data about this Game of Thrones show, like I won't be able to take it.
Yeah, but the beauty is you don't have to. I'm a loser. in a
You like
sense.
it though. No, you're not a loser,
Yeah,
you
I
just
like
like
it.
it. That's your like you that's your shit. Like you're interested in that. Like if there was like books on like how to dunk a basketball as a 5'10" white boy, I would read every goddamn book about that
Calf
to
lifts.
try to
man.
to
Calf
try to
lifts.
accomplish it. But I'm not reading about like any like the fantasy like realms and all that shit. Like, I can't get into it like
Bro, that book exists. It's the owner's manual to one of those adjustable hoops.
It's great.
yeah, that
I
Fisher
thought,
Price
I thought
makes
you
it.
were gonna say the movie White Men Can't Jump because I just watched that last week. It was randomly on. It was awesome.
What'd you watch, Blossom?
White Men Can't Jump.
Oh, dude, that was a great movie. White
Yeah.
Man Can't Jump was the fucking greatest movie.
Oh, you were Woody Harrelson.
Yo, fucking Perez, man, Rosie Perez. Oh,
She's hot.
Yeah, dude,
fucking awesome in that movie.
last
Yo,
thing I'm
no,
gonna-
you know what? Now I gotta go back. It was Jennifer Love Hewitt and then Rosie Perez. He was number 2.
last thing I'll say about Fantasyland and dorkiness. If you think that's bad about Game of Thrones,
Yeah,
I just bought
it's worse.
another 10 books on Lord of the Rings and the history of Middle Earth from Tolkien. You think Lord of the Rings Game of Thrones is bad? His universe is so deep, depth, and detailed. It is insane.
More so than Game of Thrones.
More so, even more so. He starts with he makes his own deity called a Luvatar, who's basically a
God.
Catholic version of God. Creation, he makes Einar, which are essentially archangels. Then he makes Valar, which are angels on Earth that shape Earth, the Western world, which is called Anar, and then Middle Earth and everything else, and goes into each realm, how they are, who Sauron was created by, which is a guy named Morgoth, and like so on and so forth. And I'm so deep into it right now, and I'm like on page book 5 of like 14 I bought. It's insane.
This is fucking torture. I know we talked about this a few weeks ago, but remember like on fucking Walking Dead when Negan fucking put Daryl in the cage? If you played me the audio of all the Lord of the Ring books, like I would lose my shit. Like this is no
Have you ever seen Lord of the Rings?
Come back from that. Holy shit, that's torture.
Have you ever seen Lord of the Rings?
No, like I can't watch it, dude. It's so ridiculous.
I was like 13, 14 when the first movie came out. I never read any of the books. It's a common theme, obviously, if you haven't seen so far. But I remember being like, I think it came out like 2000 or something like that, the first one.
Yeah,
so I was 14. So I remember like watching them when they came out. I think they came out like back to back years. And I used to like be super into it. Then I tried to watch it last year. I only got like 45 minutes in, and I was like, I don't know if I could do another 10 hours of this. So I kind of fell off with that one.
No fucking way, man.
All
right, that's our next assignment. We're gonna have to fucking watch all the fucking Lord of the Rings movies and read all the books, and then we're gonna fucking talk about it.
I would watch the movies. I would sit through the movies. I just get real high first.
Yeah, I just went through with my girlfriend like a month and a half ago, during like over winter, and watched them all because she had seen none of them. So
what did she think?
She loved them, but what her thing is like, and she started watching Game of Thrones too. She likes watching all this with me. She goes, all the stuff I don't understand, just explain to me.
Nick. She really likes you, man. Just give it up. She really likes you. She doesn't like those fucking Lord of the Ring books. She's just saying that.
You think she's trying to do that to touch the peach, bro? That's...
Michelle,
nobody likes that shit.
Don't judge me.
If that's the case, hold on to it. That's pretty good.
She does listen to this every week. She actually gets excited to listen to it, so maybe she really just does like me.
I'm sorry. I hope I didn't mean any offense. I was just trying to make a joke.
No. Very thick skint. Not like that. Not down there.
All right. Well,
All right, I think we've gone too far.
yeah. Is that it? It's been about an hour and 20 minutes.
Think so.
All right, we're calling quits, guys.
Eventually, we got to give it up, right? So there goes another fine episode of the Mix It Up podcast. We got homework to do. We're going to go home and read. That's our assignments. This is Mike. They're the two Nicks. And the special guest, John Depot. We'll be back again next week. See you later, guys.
Later.
Thanks for having me on, guys.
Thanks for coming.
The cat in the box.